The robotic surgery started at the patient level in 1998, and one company essentially has dominated over the last 20 plus years at this point in time, and over 7 million robotic operations have been done globally. And it has come long ways, and there has been a continuous evolution of the technology. The main thing though, even though so many procedures have been done, it has never reached actually an even global penetration. So when we looked at the reasons for it, the biggest reason comes out as a cost. So roughly over 5,700 robotic systems exist today, and 93% are between United States, Europe, and Japan. And that means almost 6 billion people in the world do not have easy access, mainly because of the cost and partly due to the associated learning curve. And over the years, because of the patent issues, many companies just did not get into the field of development. But today there are at least 15 to 20 companies that are at various different stages of development. And what I see that I think in the next 3 to 4 years, there will be more and more companies entering the clinical field. So we must keep that in mind. If you take India, for instance, with a population of 1.4 billion people, over 32,000 hospitals in the country, we have only less than 100 systems. And that is kind of sad in a way that patients, not only in India, but many parts of the world, do not have access to this wonderful way of doing less invasive operation that are associated with less trauma, less complications, and very fast recovery that ultimately translates to huge benefits for the society and the healthcare system. I left India in 1972 after finishing the medical college in Ajmer and lived in the United States for almost 38 years. I was the founding chairman of Alliance Hospital in Odessa, Texas, which I ran as a chairman for 4 years, then moved on to University of Chicago as assistant professor and director of robotic cardiac surgery. Then I founded the International College of Robotic Surgery in Atlanta and led the field in terms of teaching and training, and then came to India as again a founder and chairman of International Center for Robotic Surgery to be able to launch programs in the country. After having come to India in 2011 and launching programs, I realized that the cost was a major inhibiting factor for our patients to undergo surgery. The capital cost was high, then the per procedure cost was very high. So in 2012, I decided to literally invest my time and money to come up with a system that will be cost effective. Initially, it took me to Germany, and then in 2013, I initiated a team of engineers to really start looking into developing some of the ideas that I had for a very different, technologically different system, which will also be cost effective and hopefully have more capabilities. And so it has taken us, I would say, probably with very concentrated efforts over the last 4 years or so to come up with the latest generation of the Mantra system, and which we were able to use in fact recently in the first in human pilot study clinical trials very successfully in some of the very complex procedures. What it took really for this success in a relatively short time and with limited financial resources was association of a clinical experience with a very talented team of very young engineers, and majority of this team is from India, but we do have international engineers along the way who have helped us, and some of them are renowned experts in the field of the robotic engineering. And the system is unique in its own ways, that it is modular, it has an open faced console. So ergonomically, surgeon can literally sit straight as compared to the Da Vinci system, where you are hunched over and then you do not see anything else around you. I can sit straight just like this, and with a 3D large monitor, I am able to view the endoscopic 3D view of inside of the patient's body. And then with my hand motions, which are different in the sense of what controls I use compared to the Da Vinci system, and to be able to control these robotic arms that are modular. We also have certain very advanced features whereby the collision of the robotic arms or collision with the patient is detected and avoided. The other major difference beyond the technology is the applications. So our system will be useful in all surgical specialties except orthopedic at this point in time, and including cardiac surgery also we will be doing. And one of the focus, because no one in the world is focused on cardiac surgery. So apart from these specialties, we will also focus on cardiac surgery because the benefits are so huge in terms of having the entire complex operation done through tiny holes versus having the sternum split open, which is associated with a lot of trauma, certain complications, and very long recovery periods. Other major factor that we considered in this development was the cost. The current Da Vinci system in India at the highest level sells for something like 16 to 18 crores. As I mentioned that there are limited number of systems in relation to the population and the number of hospitals in the country. We have less than 100 systems today. And so the idea was to develop a system that we can really get it to the masses, many more hospitals. So our goal is to be able to sell to the end user in India somewhere between 4 to 5 crores or so, and keep the cost of procedures as well as the maintenance contract very affordable so the hospitals can afford, and in turn more and more patients will benefit from it. Our plans for the future include making the system commercially available later 2021, and establish our manufacturing and assembly within India with as many Indian components as possible. And we have by now raised probably over 300 crores or so from various resources. But at this point in time, and hopefully as soon as we finish our clinical trial, we will be launching our next round of funding, and the goal is to raise somewhere between 700 to 1,000 crore to really establish our infrastructure, support systems, manufacturing, and really create a global company with our next round of funding. My dream and vision is really to make the robotic system available in most parts of our country, remote areas, in places where Army does not have access to high tech, and patients don't have to travel to large hospitals to benefit from this wonderful technology. And I sincerely hope that our success and our being in India inspires many young and bright minds to really push. If you have a great idea, go for it, because you can also achieve it.